Illusory truth effect. The illusory truth effect. If you hear something repeatedly, you'll start believing it, whether it's true or not. This is the essence of the illusory truth effect. It explains why propaganda is powerful, why fake news spreads effortlessly, and why rumors gain traction even when they sound absurd. But why does this happen? The human brain is lazy when it comes to verifying facts. It takes mental energy to analyze everything we hear, so we rely on shortcuts, one of them being familiarity. If something feels familiar because it's been repeated often, our mind assumes it must be true. That's how false beliefs spread and misinformation becomes mainstream. Take common myths. Sugar makes kids hyper. Despite what parents believe, research proves it's false. We only use 10% of our brains, debunked long ago, yet still widely believed. Lightning never strikes the same place twice. It does, frequently. Advertising exploits this effect masterfully. You've heard the slogan, "Red Bull gives you wings." Logically, you know it won't make you fly, but repetition makes your brain associate it with energy and performance. Politics uses it too. If a leader keeps saying, "We have the strongest economy in history," people begin to believe it, even if data says otherwise. A 1977 study by researchers Lynn Hasher, David Goldstein, and Thomas Tapino proved this effect. Participants were shown both true and false statements multiple times. The more often they saw a statement, the more likely they were to believe it, even without proof. Even when people know something is false, repeated exposure makes it feel true. Familiarity overrides accuracy. To protect yourself, question repetition. Ask, where did this information come from? Is there real evidence? Expose yourself to multiple perspectives and stay alert to emotionally charged messages. Repetition is one of psychology's most potent weapons. It can enlighten or deceive. Now that you understand it, you won't be so easily fooled. Zeigarnik effect. Unfinished tasks and mental loops. Ever started a show you weren't even that interested in but had to finish? That's the Zeigarnik effect, our tendency to fixate on unfinished tasks more than completed ones. It explains why cliffhangers keep us hooked, why to-do lists create tension, and why our brains won't rest when something's incomplete. Bluma Zeigarnik, a Russian psychologist, first discovered this in the 1920s. She noticed that waiters remembered unpaid orders vividly, but forgot them once settled. Our minds crave closure. Unfinished tasks create tension, like an open loop that demands to be closed. Studies show this tension can boost focus and motivation, but only if the task feels achievable. If it feels too overwhelming, it triggers procrastination instead. To use it wisely, start small. Even beginning a task activates the brain's need to complete it. For studying, stop mid-chapter. Your mind will want to continue later. Marketers and media exploit this constantly. Free trials, teasers, unfinished stories, all to keep you coming back. If you overthink or feel restless, write down unfinished tasks before bed. This helps the brain release them and relax. The Zeigarnik effect can fuel motivation or anxiety. The trick is to use it for productivity, not pressure. Reverse psychology. Tell someone not to do something, and suddenly that's all they want to do. This is reverse psychology, a mental trick that parents, marketers, and manipulators all use. It plays on our resistance to control. When people feel restricted, they instinctively rebel. Psychologists call this reaction reactance, a mental pushback against authority. Say, "You can't do that," and the brain hears, "I dare you." It shows up everywhere. A teen who didn't care about a party suddenly must go once forbidden. A shopper ignoring a product feels intrigued when told it's not for everyone. The forbidden fruit effect and scarcity principle amplify this. If something's off limits, we assume it's valuable. Marketers thrive on this. Only for the bold, limited edition, just 2 left. Each phrase fuels curiosity and urgency. In leadership, it's used to motivate. I doubt anyone's brave enough to handle this. Suddenly, people rise to the challenge. But used manipulatively, it can be toxic. People may say, "Fine, leave," just to provoke guilt, or act unattainable to make others chase them. To protect yourself, pause when you feel that urge to rebel. Ask, am I doing this because I want to or because I'm reacting to someone else's control? Reverse psychology is powerful, but only when subtle. Once someone senses manipulation, it backfires instantly. Anchoring bias. The first piece of information you hear in a situation shapes everything that follows. This is anchoring bias, when the brain fixates on the first number or idea as a reference point, even if it's random. That's why stores start with high prices, why discounts feel huge even when they're not, and why first impressions last. Your brain doesn't process facts in isolation. It compares them. The first thing you hear becomes the anchor. If you see a $500 jacket first, then a $150 one, the second feels cheap. But if you saw the $150 one first, then the $50 one, it feels overpriced. Restaurants list overpriced dishes first. Realtors show expensive houses first. Tech companies launch a premium version to make the regular one look affordable. Anchoring even affects negotiations in court rulings. The first offer or number sets the tone. To counter it, question the first number you hear. Ask, would this still seem like fair if I didn't know the first price? Better yet, set your own anchor first. When you control the first frame, you control the conversation. Ben Franklin effect. You'd think that helping someone makes you like them, but it's the opposite. People who do a favor for you are more likely to help again than those you help. This is the Ben Franklin effect, a quirk of psychology rooted in cognitive dissonance. Franklin once asked a rival to lend him a rare book. The man did, and afterward, his attitude softened. Why? Because the rival's brain needed to justify his own action. Like, if I helped him, I must like him. We prefer to see our behavior as consistent. Once we help someone, our mind assumes we did it for good reason, usually because we value them. This principle shows up everywhere: workplaces, friendships, even politics. If you ask for a small favor, people are more likely to continue helping later. Conversely, doing too many favors can backfire, creating guilt or resentment. Use this to your advantage. Ask for small, genuine favors. Let people invest emotionally. It builds real connection. Paradox of choice. More options should make life easier, but in truth, it makes us miserable. This is the paradox of choice. When choices multiply, satisfaction drops. We overthink, hesitate, and fear making the wrong decision. Psychologist Barry Schwartz proved this. People given 6 jam flavors bought more than those offered 24. Too many options cause paralysis, not freedom. It's why people scroll Netflix for an hour and never pick a show. Why dating apps make commitment harder. Why online shopping creates regret, not happiness. To escape it, set clear criteria before choosing. Limit your options and give yourself a time limit. Freedom isn't in having every choice, it's in knowing what you truly want. Door-in-the-face technique. Ask for something outrageous first, get rejected, then follow up with a smaller request, and people suddenly agree. That's the door-in-the-face technique. It works because of reciprocal concession. When one side seems to compromise, the other feels pressure to do the same. A fundraiser might ask for $500, then settle for $20. A parent might ask a child to clean the whole house, then only the room. The first request sets up the second to seem reasonable. But it only works if the first ask feels believable. Too extreme and people see through it. Next time someone scales down a request, ask yourself, would I agree to this if it were the first thing they asked? If not, you've just met the door-in-the-face trick. Foot in the door technique. Start small, then go big. If someone agrees to a minor request, they're far more likely to comply with a larger one later. That's the foot in the door technique, built on our desire to stay consistent. Once we say yes to something small, we begin to see ourselves as supportive or agreeable, making it harder to say no next time. Marketers use it everywhere. Can I have 5 minutes of your time? Later, can you sign up for this plan? Charities ask you to sign petitions, then request donations. Free trials work the same way. Once you've invested time, canceling feels wrong. Even prisoners of war were conditioned with this method, tiny statements leading to major shifts in belief. To resist it, ask yourself, would I still agree if I hadn't already said yes earlier? Awareness breaks the chain of subtle manipulation.
Decoy effect. Ever noticed how one option suddenly looks like the best deal after another is added? That's the decoy effect, a marketing illusion designed to steer your decision. Imagine, a small popcorn costs $3, a large costs $7. You hesitate, then a new medium appears for $6. Now the large looks like a steal. That medium isn't there to sell, it's there to push you toward the pricier choice. Businesses use this constantly. Tech brands release 3 versions, basic, premium, and a near-useless middle option that makes the premium look irresistible. Restaurants, wine lists, and even political campaigns use it to guide your preference. To avoid it, judge options independently, not in comparison. Ask, would this still seem like the best choice if the others didn't exist? Once you see the decoy, you can't unsee it.